All right, folks. So it's a new location. Well, not really new, just different. I haven't streamed from over here before in many, not before, just recently. So if you can hear me and see me, the setup is different today. And I just need folks to confirm that you can, that tech is working because my microphone has no longer become reliable. So yes, so please confirm if you can hear me and see me, that would be amazing. Also, I see that Sabina was in the chat already and doesn't sound like she'll be able to be the stream, but she'll catch us on the replay and we'll definitely catch her comments over there. I see a handful of people in the stream, so we just need to know if this is working. And if not, but hey, otherwise, while that is coming in, I will say hello and welcome to the Wednesday live stream. There's Adrian in the chat checking in, hopefully confirming that things are working. There's Graham. All right, hello. We can see you, hear you. That is excellent. Well, welcome, folks. It is November. Josh Coops is not here. Denise says that can hear and see next gen. Eric, thank you so very much, folks. It makes a difference for me. I spent like 15 or 20 minutes trying to get set up on this computer with my microphone, and I think that it hates me. I don't know. It's you spend money on something and then you hope it works for a while and then it doesn't. Stig says new studio, and I say it is not actually a new studio. It is just a different part of my house. My house is sort of in a state of flux change right now. Josh says I can hear your gray shirt and see your words. Okay, I'm broken. Oh, yeah. Well, it was really cool and fun to see so many of you yesterday because I popped in on Alex's stream with Carl when they were talking about affiliate gathering. And it was like my little heart was like all fuzzy because I jumped in and said, hey. And then there were a bunch of people that were like, hey. And literally, it was like my dream was happening. It was just to be, it's like Cheers, right? The old show Cheers. You go in and everybody knows your name. And I felt I had that moment of like, hey, I just walked into the pub or the bar and everybody was like, ah, and it's like, it was pretty cool. Anyway, smash the like button. It warms my heart. And also I think it tells YouTube good things, but I don't honestly know for a fact if that does anything. Sabina says, ooh, living room vibes. Yes, you will notice that there is nothing like on the walls or basically anywhere. It looks very stark because I had a small kids disco dance party, and so I cleaned out this whole space to make a dance floor. But I took everything off the walls because like 8, 9 year olds that just go like bonkers, and so they were like climbing the walls, and I was so glad I had taken everything off because they were crazy dancers, but they would have destroyed everything. They immediately started moshing. I kid you not. I turned on the music and they immediately just started like running into each other at full speed. That was dancing, I guess, when you're 8 years old now, but it was awesome. I do have some legit things to talk about today, but I'm just letting people roll in to the chat. I see Nightcrawler. He or she said, learn things from watching the videos, and I'd say that's awesome. I just do my best. Wish I had a big mansion like you. Well, one day, I doubt I will ever have a big mansion, but given what I've heard about folks in the UK as far as like space, this must look ginormous because most of y'all are working in closets, I hear. He says in October, a month income report is missing. And I say, you are correct because it is the 3rd of November and I have not had any free time yet to record that video. And I have not had a chance to give the call out for the monthly, I'm gonna put up my air quotes, contest for folks who want to guess the traffic or make an attempt to guess the traffic and earnings for the month of November for a chance to earn a one-on-one free virtual either Google Meet or Zoom conference to talk about, your website stuff. So last month's winner was Marika, and I had a lovely chat with Marika. She was great. And then the month before, I talked to Graham. And so it would be really cool to see if maybe one of y'all in the chat or who is catching this on the replay could be the winner of the monthly guessing the traffic and earnings report. So to win, though, you have to be, I think, within how many dollars? How many dollars of the income? I would say $50 of the income and within 500 of the page views. So you have to do both of those things to win that prize. And last month, Marika was close enough. Also, Carl is here. And so I want to know what is for tea. He says, I haven't put tea on yet. And I want to know what it is you're going to make because that is the only way that we will all feel happy and satisfied is if Carl tells us what is for tea. Stig says, don't play Slayer and Suicidal Tendencies if you don't want them to mosh. What's crazy about it is that we started, because it was sort of a Halloween theme, it started with Michael Jackson's Thriller because I'm old and because that seemed like a great place to start. And then I think we did like Happy and Justin Timberlake, and the moshing just happened. There was no Slayer. There were not very many guitars, and yet it happened. I don't know. Eric says, I saw the replay of last week. It was fun. You should have seen me frantically trying to scrub the blue paint off my face, is all I will say. Baz says, can you please let me know what music you use in your Mika update videos? I like listening to it. That is a free, I think, I'm assuming that it's one of the free tracks that I get from the audio studio library. And I will, I'm planning on when I have a chance, actually going and checking specifically what track that is. And I will reply to your comment because there's only 2 or 3 tracks that I really like to use because they're so distracting. And it's free. So you can get it. You can get it in the YouTube studio if you have access to YouTube studio. Cross says, I'm being lazy tonight. Fish fingers and mash. Peas. Stig says, no Slayer for Halloween. For Halloween, I know, right? I mean, they're 7. It was a dance party. I didn't want them to try and destroy everything. Electronic earnings. Wow, I feel like we haven't seen you since last week. Jay-Z, how's it going? Josh says, the biggest thing to learn is not start a summer case study going into fall and winter. Yes, because things just are crickets for months and months and months. Jay-Z says he likes the new location, and I would say start over from the beginning to catch the explanation as for why I'm here. I actually have a question for folks is how bad is the echo? Because there's wood floors and this tall ceiling. So I'm not using my regular podcast mic because it doesn't work today. It hates me. So how bad is the echo? And could I stream over here more normally? And would that be okay? So I just want to know if I would have to actually buy equipment to come over here. Obviously the lighting is not that great, like the windows over here. And anyway, the reason it's pointed this way is because if I turn the camera over there, you'll see the rest of my messy house and I don't want you to. Bella says hello, and I say hello, Bella. Thank you for tuning in for the stream. Only good people congregate here. All I'm saying. Going to be a long winter. Yes, well, I don't want to give anything away about how things are going for me, but I feel you. I'll just say that. I feel you. All good for me, actually. Adrian says, sorry, was away for a bit. How's the Mega website in terms of traffic and revenue? Up, down, steady. Well, before I disclose any of those things, and actually I'm going to hold back some of that for the month 10 update video, I am going to do the call out right now because I teased it already for folks who guess the traffic and earnings for the month of October for a chance to win an hour consultation to talk about websites or cats or whatever. And I will tell people on the replay to put it in the comments on the video or in the live chat. I will check both of those when I make the video. I'm guessing I'll make the video hopefully this week, maybe Saturday. I just haven't had a ton of time to do that, but I will. And I will tell you that in the month of September, the site had about 61,000 page views and it earned $867. So in making your guess for the month of October, just keep those things in mind. Also, I will tease that October was somewhat of a difficult month. Not everything went the way that I wanted it to. And so you'll just have to take that into account as far as guessing your traffic and your earnings. Stigs, I threw out last month's numbers, I think already. I heard there's a slight echo, but not terrible. No echo, not hearing anything terrible. Stig says he watched the replay with the guys, nice Smurfette. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Uh, Jay-Z says, Bella wants to set up a site and she's 6. Well, think about it. If she started now and then 12 years from now she would be 18, you would have a 12-year-old site that could be just killing it. Could be amazing. She could not bother with college. She'd be like, thanks, Dad. You don't have to spend money on college. I make my own money. Baz says, please can you talk about your topic clustering methods on your MEGA website? So what I've been doing, and again, I don't know whether or not this is awesome or not, is I've been really focused on trying to find keyword clusters just because I don't have that much time. Keyword clusters that I think really hammer on a particular topic, but they're one part of the keyword is replaceable. My example that I usually use is like the animal sites, like say rabbits, right? Like can rabbits eat? Like answering the question, can rabbits eat? And then replacing the eat with the food, you know, with spinach and bananas and carrots and things, and then really trying to go deep on that particular topic and many questions as possible, as many topics as I can find, sometimes even regardless of the amount of traffic or the competitiveness, because I figure I don't necessarily trust all those tools to be correct. And you never know necessarily whether or not what Google is going to think, whether or not you will get traffic for some of those keywords. And I feel like taking some more risks on keywords that seem too competitive not many people are doing that. It's a great chance to get out there and say, okay, maybe I'll be doing something that nobody else is doing, and that will give me a leg up. So right now, that's primarily what I'm doing because it's easy to assign writers those topics. So if I create a content brief, and I'm still working on content briefs, by the way, the SOPs and trying to get the best content back. I only have to really create the brief one time because that style of article it should be really similar. Like the content coming back should be really similar. And that way I don't have to create a separate content brief for every single article. Because in the end, by the time I spend an hour and a half creating the content brief for the article for that keyword, I might as well just have written the article. So I try to find keyword clusters that I can reuse the content brief for, and hopefully there's 20, 30, 40 articles on that sort of same kind of keyword cluster or the same topic so that I can try to get content out more quickly. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. It's not necessarily all that I have done, but right now that is what I'm doing and trying really hard to work on. Let's see. Jay-Z is guessing 75,000 page views at $900. Excellent. Very optimistic going from last month, which was 61,000 page views. So that would be quite the jump. Adrian says, my prediction for October is 69.8 thousand page views and $960 revenue. Ali says, hello, everyone. And Boz says, thanks. And I'm hoping what you're saying thanks for was the topic about the music, because I can't remember exactly what else I've done for to be thanked for. I'm kind of wondering though, I'm looking at Adrian's guess and my eyebrows are going like this because I literally just a couple of minutes ago did the math on what October was, and I went, very interesting there, sir. And I'm wondering if you have found my site. And if you have, please don't share it. Nightcrawler guess 685, and I'm saying dollars versus page views, I hope. And I will say that there should only be one winner. So whoever gets the closest will be the winner. Jay-Z says, have I ever sold a website? And I say, no, I haven't sold anything. I buy them, or I destroy them, or I let them go back, or I just keep them. It's like in my mind that I will eventually sell stuff, but no, I haven't sold anything yet because I like them. It's like growing a child, right? Like you've invested your time and your love and your sweat and your tears into them, and then sending them out into the world. I'm not ready to let them fly. Graham says, I've been experimenting with Shauna Newman's cluster method. Well, talk to me about Shauna Newman's cluster method, because what I know mostly of Shauna Newman's method is finding the keywords of other sites and then just beating them, like just beating them into the ground. So please tell me more about Shauna Newman's method. Teach me something. Too early to tell if it is working or not, but excited if it does. Stig says 65,000 page views and $888. Carl says, what are your plans for YouTube in 2022? And have you enjoyed it at all this year? Well, that's a great question. And for me, I will say that YouTube in 2021 has been more about community and less about really growing the channel. And, in 2020, I spent a lot more time working on like relationship marketing, right? Getting out there and forming connections and networking. And I used YouTube and the podcast for that. And 2021 has really been focusing about websites and trying to take this one aspect of my business and trying to grow it into something that I'm excited about. In 2022, I definitely foresee a return to, at least on the live stream channel, of doing more interviews just because I enjoy them so very much. And I think in the last year, I've gotten to know some more people. It would be really cool, honestly, to do some more in-person events and then maybe use YouTube as a springboard to be introduced to more people to do more in-person type speaking, because that's not something I'm great at and I would like to get better at it. And this is a great chance to thank Carl for giving me an opportunity to speak in person on this topic, because I have not, on the topic of websites, because it's not something I have done at all. I've done it, on the screen for many hours, but not in person. By the way, there's an affiliate link to Carl's affiliate gathering in the description. So check that out. But I definitely see in 2022 a return to doing more interviews. But I honestly don't see myself returning to the content that is traditionally used to grow these types of channels, like how long should a blog post be? And, should let's niche selection. Like I'll answer those questions in the stream to the best of my ability, but I think I'm going to leave those videos to the experts, to the people who know. And I probably will just use my primary channel as a place to upload income reports. And then if I do any sort of sponsored content, or because of relationships, have videos to make that are fun to make, I'll do them. But I'm not going to worry necessarily too much about how big the channel needs to get or to be, because the truth is I have what I need right here. And those people are in the chat. And so if I have 5,000 subscribers or 20,000 or 100,000, I mean, I have what I need here. And that's the primary goal of YouTube at this point. And until, or for the near future, websites are going to be what I'm going to focus on. Phil says, and Phil, what's going on? Hey, all, what's going on today? Phil, I heard that there is a new update coming out, or came out, or has come out on Popcorn. I'm not sure if I've seen that, but is there any chance that that is going to be automated at some point, so that it just goes into my WordPress dashboard and I just have to click the update button like everything else? Because I don't always get into my email, and I feel like maybe sometimes I miss updates. So is that coming? Can you tell us? Graham says about Shauna's method is basically take the main keyword and combine it with a secondary keyword, change the title, intro, and leave everything else as it is. So all I did was change the Amazon links to the correct country. So basically what you're saying is the bulk of the content in the blog post is the same. And really the only thing, because the information might be the same, right? Like it's just a type of keyword that maybe you're using the same. It's like, what's a good example? Like a vacuum cleaner, right? And the question is, how do you vacuum with a Dyson 678? And so you could just replace, because the way you vacuum with all of the Dyson models, or every single vacuum will always be the same, and you just change the name of the vacuum and leave the rest of the content the same. Is that what I think? Because I think a lot of people would say, maybe I shouldn't do that because of duplicate content issues. And it sounds like that's working. And so let me know if I'm understanding that correctly. Let's see. Phil, can you run over and peek into Carl's window? Josh says he's listening and relaxing for once. Well, it's nice to have Josh back. We haven't seen Josh in a while, so it's cool to have him in the chat. Graham says, apparently Google doesn't care if the content is the same if the keywords are different. Well, I'm curious to see how that plays out. Denise is guessing 64,700 in traffic at $850. What cracks me up so far is that nobody has nobody has guessed the $1,000 a month mark yet. Like everybody knows, because I say it every week, that I'm trying to get this site to $1,000 a month, and nobody has confidence yet, including myself, that it's there yet. Phil says, Portsmouth is not that close to you. Mention my name when you book tickets. That's right. Uh, Graham says, hope it works unless she was trolling everyone. Hey, that would be the ultimate thing, right? Somebody guru comes out and say, try this method, it works, and try to convince everybody to go and do that. In the meantime, continue to do what works while telling everybody you're doing this other thing so that you can continue to win the world. That would be tricky. Very tricky. Hey, Sonia, what's going on? How are the books? How are book reviews going? Baz says, do you follow Morton's methods when building out your Mega site? I do incorporate much of what Morton teaches in my websites. Specifically, I did a lot of his videos when I was doing niche selection. In his course, he had some really great thoughts about picking a really good niche and then picking out topics within the niche. And I truly credit a lot of the performance of this particular site to the niche that was selected and his thoughts on that. So that's one of the reasons why in the description you'll see an affiliate link to his course, because I highly recommend his course for people who need help getting started and getting a good foothold to get started. Phil says, yes, 1.1.0 is automated, which is excellent. And the update should come automatically, which is awesome. Now automated, yes, okay. There, the chat confirms that updates will soon to be automated, which is awesome because I'm lazy. Graham says, yep, that's right. Control H and replace the keywords. Well, that would be a really easy way to put out a lot of content if that actually works. Carl says, install the new version, add the license key, and you're done. It will auto update from then on. All right, so Popcorn, apparently, once we install this current 1.1.0, after that, it will automatically update or give you hopefully the option to automatically update. I don't think anybody's knocking on the door, honey. And if they are knocking on the door, they just have to wait. Okay.
My mom would get tired.
You think that they would just sit out? I'm sorry, my daughter is asking me a question. You know what? They will just have to sit there and wait. I'm busy. And most likely, if they're at the door, all they want to do is sell me something. Do you want to go look out the window and see if there's somebody there? Don't open the door. Okay, just check and see. My daughter is still at home. I hear a youngin'. Yes. Do you see anybody? Nothing? All clear? Okay. My daughter usually spends most of the stream looking at me like, what is mom? Like, mom is talking to nobody. She's talking at a screen. There's nobody there, mother. Like, what is it that you are doing? Like, truly. Sonia says about her book site is that most of my articles are on the first page of Google. Yes. So far, so good. I got 5,000 page views last month and made $11. So yes, on the page views, but I'm wondering about how we could find a way to make those page views turn into more money. That is curious because it doesn't sound like the EPMB would be all that high. Boss says, I'm in his course. It's really good. Highly recommend it. Yep, I totally recommend it. It's one of the few that I'm full in on. Adrian says, my Mega traffic took a little dive in terms of traffic for October, 15% down. Interesting is that revenue is almost 11% up, managed to get close to $1,600 with 1,101 articles, which is awesome. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about traffic being down and trying to troubleshoot as to why that is, especially in the last few weeks. And I will admit that I have also suffered some of this. And the assumption, of course, for me is that it's seasonal. And I, of course, also worry that it's not seasonal, that it's something that I did. But, what are you going to do? Jay-Z says, I need a be right back sign. Yeah, I do, but I also think that people in the stream think it's funny it's interesting to see a little bit more into the life that you live like outside of this screen, like what's going on there. I think that's why people are obsessed with what Carl is cooking for dinner. See you later, Jay-Z. Thanks for dropping in. Sonia says, no, my EPMB is like $2.5 and I don't know what to do. Yeah, it could be that the particular niche just isn't that valuable, and sometimes that is. You think about it, like what's the cost of a book? If look at the product, right, that you're selling. If you're doing, if the people who are on your site are looking for a book to buy, and who's going to be advertising on your site, and if how much are they willing to spend to acquire that customer. And if the product is an Amazon book that costs $6.99, what are they willing to pay for a click? My guess is not that much, right? Probably pennies. So you say, oh, well, I don't know how I could increase my EPMV or RPM per thousand visitors. And you probably would need to target products in the book niche that cost more, so that the people who are going to advertise on those particular posts would be willing to spend more. So are there books in your niche that you could review or cover or write about that are really expensive, that are hundreds of dollars, or products in the book niche that are hundreds of dollars? And maybe that would be a way to improve overall the value of the site. Carl says, bless you, go get the door and let your daughter take over the stream. That would be hilarious. One of these days when she's a little bit older, I will let her do it. Yeah, I'm thinking of expanding my niche. Yeah. Graham says, look at your Zoic analytics, check the content pages, and then sort your pages by EPMV. You might find some high yield pages that you can drill down into, or just similar types of topics. You also could do is check your Google Search Console and see what keywords you do rank for. And maybe there's some questions in there that aren't necessarily a book review, but they're questions that you could easily put out content on that maybe are keywords you didn't even realize you were ranking for. And maybe that would just be another way to try to earn money, simply with just volume, right? Just getting more posts out there with easily answered questions. Maybe you'll never get the RPM up super high, but if you had a couple of 100,000 page views, then at least at that point you could apply to other ad networks, or just make it up in volume. Carl's going to put the fish fingers in the oven. That sounds delicious. Mhm. So looking at my list of things that I wanted to talk about, Phil says he's emailed me. Thank you, Phil. I'm sure you emailed me before, and I'm a moron who just has not caught up with email. So November, I'm going to take some of my own medicine, and I recommend this constantly, but I'm calling November. Here we go. You ready? I thought of this myself. No look November. That's right. It's like the no shave November. Obviously, I'm not doing no shave November, but for me, because of the way October went, and because of the prevailing obsession with statistics and the thumbs up button. Oh my gosh, you guys! I've been watching it for the last half an hour. We only have 6 likes. I feel like at this point I need to start doing some song and dance or something to try to get some people to smash the like button. So November, I'm calling it No Look November. And so here's what I am saying to all of you, and I ask you to support me in this and maybe even participate in it with me, which is turning off analytics. Both I'm promising, with the exception that I will look to be able to make my update videos that I need to make for YouTube. I'm not going to look at my Zoic earnings. I'm not going to look at big data analytics. I'm not going to spend any time looking at data in any sort of my earnings dashboards or in Google Analytics, unless I get some sort of email like your ads text is not showing, that would indicate to me that I've got a problem. But truly, no looking at analytics for November. No look November. Would anybody come with me? So I'm not alone in this. Put up your hand or say, I'm with you, and we're just not going to spend November looking at analytics. He says, good plan. I give her a week. I feel like the gauntlet has been thrown down. Stiggs, you cannot challenge me like that. You come here and say, oh, well, I don't think she can do that. I say, I need a shirt that doesn't say Ezoic, that says, just watch me. And so there it is right there. I have already collected the data from Ezoic for the ad earnings for the month of October and from Amazon Associates. So I know how much the site made in October, so I don't have to look again. And I also know the traffic as far as page views in analytics, so I don't have to look again. So here it is. Everybody, I'm just putting it out there. No look November. And you say, okay, well, what's the point of this? What are you going to do instead? And again, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I am going to throw it on the gauntlet and get that Mega site to 500 posts this month, by the end of this month, not the end of December, but the end of November. So I had 500 posts in 12 months was my goal. But instead of staring at analytics in the month of November, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to get to that 500 post mark this month. And so that means at this point, I think I have 95 posts to go because I already have 5 posts in this month. So there it is. I'm just putting it out there. You can be my accountability group, my accountability support, going to 500 posts this month. And I want to make sure that basically every week that I get at least 25 done. So I'm not stuck at the end of the month trying to do 50 because that's a recipe for failing. But yes, there it is. No look November. And Stiggs has thrown down the gauntlet and he doesn't think I can do it. So there. I'm going to take my app off my phone. I'm going to uninstall it and not look at it. So there. Thank you. Thank you, Stiggs, for being the motivation for me this month. He says 8 days. Emil says, hey, Emil, how's it going? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. He says, I could never do that. I'm too curious. And I say, well, there's a lot of things that we don't realize that we could do until we try. There's Hassan. What's going on? Thanks for dropping in. I wish I could. I think that you could. I absolutely think that you could. Josh Coop says that Sonia could target the $3 to $5 audiobook signups. I totally agree there. Or just looking for other affiliate type or bounty type programs. Like obviously we're talking about potentially KDP within the Amazon ecosystem, but maybe there are some other affiliate programs. Graham says, quitting analytics would be like quitting smoking again. I've never been a smoker, so I don't know, but I know that smoking is quite addictive. So it would not surprise me that what you're trying to say is that it would be really difficult. And I'm with you. Stig says, I will send you a shirt if you succeed. Well, you also owe me a kazoo. So, I mean, the things that you promised to send me, like they're slowly stacking up here. With a kazoo on it, a picture of me blowing the kazoo. Only if you include text on the shirt that was in caps and is upside down and backwards. Otherwise, I won't wear it. But if you send me a shirt with your face on it, with the kazoo, with the text in all caps, I will wear it on the stream. Saying what? It has to be family friendly. That's all I will say. Hey, I want to do a quick shout out to Sarah, who is not in the stream, but Sarah, I was checking my passive income geek affiliate dashboard and it looked like you might have bought the course with my link. And if you did, I just want to throw it out there. Remember, as a bonus, I promised that I would do a Zoom chat or a Google Meet chat with folks who use my link to sign up for Morton's course. So if that's something you're interested in, you're catching this on the replay and you've already emailed me, remind me again, because sometimes I miss them. And if not, of course, this is no pressure. If you don't want to talk to me, I would say like, you don't have to. It's not a requirement, but if that's something that you want, then it says Amelia was right. If you do that, you need to make sure you at least spell my name in the correct way, because that would be hilarious to have a shirt that was spelled wrong on, like, with my own name on it. Let's see. So let's look at my to-do list. I talked a bit about the Mega group, and again, because this is going to be a tough month for me trying to get to 500 posts in just by the end of this month, I'm definitely going to need the people who are in the group, maybe this month more than ever. For the folks that have tagged along the last several months, it's been a joy to have you, and I'm looking forward to leaning on you this month because I'm going to need it. But other things that I plan to do on the site this month, because so much content has gone up in the last couple of months, is actually to spend a lot of December, once I get through this month, going back and looking again at site architecture and structure, and then maybe changing up how things are linked together so that it makes more sense. Because looking back now at some of the interlinking that was done back in January, February, March, I have a lot more content on the site that it would make sense to make some more connections. And so that's definitely something I will be looking forward to doing in December. And I think it will also, I hesitate to say this, but plan to start looking at some more link building strategies that don't involve necessarily paying money for links, but just start investigating other ways that I can take this site and make more out of it because you've done all this work, you have all the content, and then just trying to make the most of it. So no look November, going to 500 posts this month. So that means 95 more posts. And just, I can hear you. Yeah. She's making like little horse noises in the background. Did you want to come say hi to people? No, you don't want to. Well, you're welcome to if you want to say hi. That's totally fine. So let's see, on my list of stuff, we had guess the income traffic. So again, only a couple people have put in their names as far as income and traffic, but that's okay, I suppose, because if not a lot of people want to do that, then it'll be easy to sort through the guesses to see who wins. One of the things that I am going to also ask people to help me with, and Carl is gone, but it would have been cool to catch him while he was here, is I need to start thinking about a topic for me to speak on at the affiliate gathering. And I'm trying to figure out what it is that that it would be worthwhile to speak on, right? Because so many of us on YouTube cover the technical aspects of websites, and it's, if you're going to make noises, honey, then fart sounds are pretty silly because people will think it's me, and it's not me, it's you. She's making fart noises in the background, which is hilarious. But I need any suggestions like over there in the chat. And I think of these conferences, like these gatherings, as opportunities for people to come together and talk to each other, and that I assume that that's the primary reason that people will attend. But as far as what you would come there if you wanted to consume content that you don't already normally consume, that you wouldn't already normally have access to, then what could the speakers actually talk about that makes that experience valuable? And Boz says, talk about your Amiga website and how you built it and methods that you use. So then my question back to you and to Boz would be, well, how is that different than what I would cover necessarily or have covered in my income report videos, right? Like the series of videos that I've covered. Is that something that if somebody came to affiliate gathering and I presented for 15, 20 minutes on, would that be something valuable? Or would people say, oh, well, that's just the same stuff that we got at on the YouTube channel? Like, man, I'm not excited that I just spent X dollars on a ticket and a plane ticket to go there and hear the same information. So I would be really curious to know, is that something that, because you're not the first person who has suggested that, actually, talking about the Amiga site. But I feel like by then I will have talked about the Amiga site a lot in this past year. And I actually got an invitation to go on a cool podcast coming up later this year, and that I have not been on yet, that I'm a little excited and a little nervous to be participating in. I was looking at the calendar. Recording the interview is tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited and nervous about that. But again, like, I know that one of the things I want to talk about is the Amiga site. And then Doug Cunnington reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a chat with him coming up. And I enjoy going on Doug's podcast. I think I've been on two times already before, so this will be the third time. And they want to talk about the progress of the Amiga site. And so it's just, is it going to be more of the same? And if not, like, is there other things that I could talk about? And if so, what are they? Boss says, question, how much are you writing yourself versus outsourcing right now? Right now, I'm like, in the last month, I probably wrote 2 articles out of the 64, 65 that I posted. So I'm not writing very much. And in fact, I was supposed to write 15 articles for the fight site, and I only written 2 of those. And so I'm behind there. It's been a rough month for getting content done the way that it should have. So, but in past months, I have written a lot more, and just right now, I'm not. I haven't. Let's see, Stephen, what's going on? I feel like we have caught up more recently, but it's great to see you. So far today, we have talked about November being no look November. I've committed to not looking at traffic or stats for the month of November outside of making YouTube videos. And I'm going to 500 posts on the Mega site. So I've got 95 posts to do this month, which is a lot for me. We also did the monthly Guess the Traffic and Earnings contest for people to try to earn some Zoom time. Mersic, what's going on? I feel like we haven't seen you in a while. How are things going? He says he can't stop looking. Yes, well, it's been said in the chat that I won't be able to do it either, and the gauntlet has been thrown down, and so now I'm bound to meet it. I'm going to do it. So let's see how November goes. Boss says about talking about the Mega site at Affiliate Gathering. He says it would definitely be valuable, but maybe go into more detail. There will be a wider audience too than there on the stream. That's true. I mean, looking at how many each of those videos, I mean, they don't get a ton of traffic, but each of those videos gets somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 views. So I've got 10 or so videos and 20, 30,000 views. I don't know. It's hard to ignore folks when they continue to say, you should talk about the Mega site. You should talk about the Mega site. I probably should. And depending on what Carl says, I probably will, because it's something I definitely have a value to talk about. But I just wondered if there's anything else of value. Graham says, maybe talk about getting started with managing writers and how much productivity you gain back with No Look November. That would actually be a fun topic to say, okay, turning off analytics, turning off all of the dopamine like rushes of looking at traffic and stats, and how did my motivation change? Because for me, when traffic stats look bad, I feel less motivated and I get less work done. Even like a normal dip, like it's Wednesday and Wednesday is just bad for some reason. And so maybe not having like the overall ups and downs of just focusing on posting content will be better than, getting motivated by the progress that the site is making. Maybe. Mersic says, things are going great. That's awesome. All in the right direction. I saw the first hockey stick on the new site and I said, yes, that is awesome. I'm going to pat you on the back, friend, even though I can only pat myself on the back. Eric says, I will still be looking at analytics as I am waiting for traffic from Google, but I promise to look less in November. Well, less is still generally better, I think. Steven says, my Mega site has been going along well. October, I made $180 Zoic on Amazon, which is awesome, and about 7,500 page views and close to 100 posts, which again is awesome. Love to hear about the traffic. And then Luke Jordan, what's going on? So the question is, we need to ask this Luke Jordan, who is in our chat right now, is it the real Luke, or is it the Luke that has been like spoofing our friend, our colleague, friend of the stream, Luke Jordan, with WhatsApp? So Luke, now that you're in the chat, you've got to disclose something that only I would know. Which is not very much. I hardly know anything about you, but I'm assuming because you haven't immediately started to go down the road of the benefits of crypto of some kind, that it's probably you. But if it's not, we're gonna have words if we start hearing about WhatsApp. No, Luke, I feel like we haven't caught up in a while. It's cool to see you in the chat. The plan is to come to the UK, and I'm nervous about it because I haven't done any traveling in a while, and it actually reminds me that I need to go get my passport renewed because it expired after my last child was born. And I'm like, oh, I better get that done if I'm actually going to go. So I'm actually going to take steps to get there. And apparently I have a hotel already, so I just really need to make the travel plans. So it would be cool. Like, it would be cool again for all the folks who are in the chat. I wish there was some way I could go and like see everybody, because I don't even know where any of you are. And because I imagine flying into London, I imagine very few of you people, any of my colleagues actually are in London, but it would be cool to catch up with folks. Luke says, I got a spaceman these days. Lurking in the shadows. He says, cool, I'm going to head down and sit in the pub nearby. So if you're talking about coming to York and sitting in the pub, that would be awesome if that is the case, because I think that those will be some of the most enjoyable meetings with folks, is just like shooting the breeze. Oh, that's really cool. So you think that you will be around in the pub. That is really awesome. That is really awesome. What you should do is try to find your way into getting like a sitting on a panel for a ticket and then just come in so you can just talk to everybody because it would be fun. Mersic says, hopes Amelia could visit Serbia one day, and I concur because I think it would be great to visit Serbia. It sounds like an amazing place. Boz says, two things people don't talk about very often, writing and researching articles and writing articles specifically to attract links. Those are things I am not excellent at. And certainly somebody will talk about those things. Stiggs wants to know is what animal is on your wall in the videos? Oh, that explains the spaceman. I had not connected the dots as far as the animal and the spaceman yet. Oh, well, folks, I'm looking at the time. I know it's not quite the top of the hour yet, but I finished my list of stuff I want to talk about, and my girl is getting pretty antsy back there. So I think I will probably wrap up here for the day, but Space Manimal. And Boz says he'll be in the pub at the gathering. Hey, the more people who are around, the better. But yes, for folks that tuned in today for Wednesday, thanks for checking in. I look forward to speaking with you next week. And yeah, let's see what we can get done. And also not looking in analytics. I'm not going to look. It's no look November. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. See you later.